Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of our project analysis series. Today we have extremely important things to tell you about Hudson Place residents.
A lot of agents will be telling you about Hudson Place because of the new land that Qingjian bought in Dover at 1,500 per square foot. Your price is protected, and this price is going to be the price that you will not be able to get in future because there will be a new benchmark. But the question is all this true? These are the things that we will want to discuss in this video itself. There's many more things that we want to go through, just like our last few videos that we will be talking about sweet spot. Where are the units that I think in Hudson will be a better buy for you? All these things. Without further ado, we want to go in depth into this development to actually run through with you all these things so that you can make a decision by yourself with all the knowledge that you have.
Yes. So to begin with, where is Hudson Place? The location map we will share you later, but this is a generic info of this Hudson Place. It is right next to Bloomsbury. It's adjacent plot only. There's 327 units. Surrounding, there's still a lot of empty land. And if you get very high floor units, you potentially could see greenery or landed facing.
So what are the content that we are going to go through today? First things agent tell you about this project, whether is it true or not. We are going to shift the sequence now. Then next we will go through the project info in terms of the site map, distribution chart, all these things, and lastly identify the sweet spot of the development, followed by our usual layout analysis. First thing first, very importantly, the things the agent tell you. Agent will always tell you there is shuttle service, even not near MRT, never mind.
Yes.
I think this is something that we always hear. So is it true? End of the day, I would want to clarify one thing. If you really want a project for own stay and you want it to be beside MRT, whether got shutters, got whatever things, it can't solve your problem. But today we are not going to go through that because that is more of an emotional decision that is made by you. We are going to go through your project that is very far from MRT. Would it affect your profit? Would it be that you need to be beside MRT to make money?
Yeah,
that's the question.
I think we have went through this
okay?
multiple times, but for the sake of this presentation, we actually have something else in place for you. So here we have the greater one-off area. For people that are coming into this area, I would say majority of them are investors, right? So investors, obviously for them, right, the projects that are nearer to MRT, can I say that the PSF there is actually cheaper or not? Because you look at one-off residents, right, a lot of people have this perception that, okay, near MRT, even though it's much older, but it's also much cheaper. So does it make more sense for me to buy one that is near MRT than to buy one that is further away from MRT and at a much higher price?
So I think one of the key things that Joy is trying to let you all know is, as a buyer, even for yourself that's watching this video, if you have this option of one-off residences and you're just buying for investment, you don't care whether it's new or whichever, at 1,958 per square foot, quite near to MRT, about 7 minutes walk, compared to Hudson Place, which is not walking distance to MRT, estimated, let's say average at $2,500. Is it worthwhile still to look at Hudson Place as an investor? I'm right beside MRT and I'm older. Will I still have lower rental than Hudson Place? These are the questions that I think everybody will be asking. So we are going to run through this exact same situation of an age gap of 20 years. You see, this two is a 20 years gap. So we are going to take somewhere else to actually do a comparison for you. Actually, there's a few examples, but today we are only going to show you one. This is actually two condos, one near to MRT, Tanglin Regency, where you can walk to Redhill.
TOP in 1998. And then we have Principal Gardens. To be frank, the walk to the MRT can be quite a distance.
I don't think you will walk. I mean, honestly. Maybe some of them will walk, but I don't think so. But there's other examples elsewhere that is further away also. But never mind, we just go through this too, because they have an exact 21 years gap, which is almost same as Hudson and One North residence, which is 20 years. So we want to understand age and distance to MRT. In terms of that, how is it going to affect your price?
Yes.
So now we look at Tanglin in terms of rental. Tanglin, which is right next to MRT, but at the age of 21 years older than Principal Garden,
look at the rental differences.
Is averagely about $700 cheaper, which means that it's about 20% cheaper. 3-bedroom at about a discount of about 25% in terms of the rental rates. Here shows one thing. Even though you are further away from the MRT, but you are newer, your rates might still be higher. So in short, we just want to let you know that tenants wise, they are willing to pay more even though you are further away, but you are newer. But now very important is actually the growth. How much growth they are having. So we are taking the lowest of 2015, where Principal Garden is launched, at 2015, the lowest that Tanglin have transacted. And versus the highest that's done in 2024 to 2026 range, because Tanglin, there's no transaction in 2026. So in 2025, the highest transacted is 17 plus. In terms of these two, Tanglin is 1164 to 1787, which is a 53% growth. And Principal is 1485 to 2699, 81% growth. In terms of that, even though this is further away from MRT, the growth rate is still higher when they actually purchase a 27.5% gap. 27.5% gap, I purchase higher, I still have a growth of 27% higher. You talk about 81 minus 53, 27% higher. Now we recap. One North residence, 19 plus per square foot. Let's say we round it up to $2,000 versus, let's say, Hudson average at 2.5.
2.5, yep.
Potentially, you might be able to buy the cheap unit at 2.2 to 2.3. So we don't take the cheap unit. Let's say you buy 2.4 plus, which is 20% higher. Can you buy? With all this data, I want to show you one thing only. Further away from the MRT doesn't mean that you will suffer.
Doesn't mean lesser rental, and also doesn't mean lesser appreciation or growth.
With that, you just want to understand from here. But of course, end of the day, whether it suits you or not, all these things you have to still decide on your own.
Yeah. So the next thing is that agents say they will be saying, a lot of people will be raving about the very cheap land cost, and they will probably tell you this one can buy. You know why? Because the next land plot, which is the Dover one, the same developer, which is Qingjian, right, bidded for 1,556. So if I were to put into perspective for you, the yellow color here is where the new land plot is being bidded. All these three lands are under the same developer. The first plot, right, is Bloomsbury, which has been launched. They bidded at 1,191 per square foot. Then followed by this current Hudson. This current Hudson is bidded like $100+ cheaper. Technically, logically, it's not wrong to think that way, right? Then after that, we have got the Dover land plot, which is bidded $500+ more. So obviously, we know that when you bid higher for a land, eventually it translates to the higher break-even price. Right. When the developer bought cheaper for a land, does it mean that they're going to launch cheap also?
The key thing I want to tell you is, because everyone will tell you this, 1.5 plus and it's bid by the same developer. Developer have very good confidence in this area. Yep. Developer will protect the price in this area. Developer will not sell Dover cheap. Hudson, if you buy this price, it's going to be a very good price. So this is something that everywhere you go, everywhere people like tell you. Sure, got a lot of people send you this article. Confirm one. Anyone who want to sell you a property, sure send you this article to tell you can buy Hudson Place, can buy anything else. I'm not saying that we can't buy, but I just want to clarify one thing. You buy higher land price, the developer confirm launch higher. So we buy 50% higher land price, I will launch 50% higher. Is it that way? This is the question that we want to confirm. Yes. So like example, I buy $500 higher. My average will be $500 higher. Is it a confirmed number? I can tell you it's not confirmed. Like because even Blooms bought at 11 plus, Hudson bought at 10 plus. They might still go at the same price, or Hudson might be slightly
take the Villa Bay for example, right? Villa Bay is based on their land price of 1,300 plus. Everybody's saying that they're going to launch at 3,000 per square foot. But in the end, you look at their indicative price, it's only 2,006 starting from. Okay,
so now we see, this is what happened back in 2018. So there's two land that's being bought. This Jetscape is bought by Qingjian also at 791 per square foot per plot ratio, which is very low at the time they en bloc it. Versus Affinity bought at 835, also en bloc. Affinity is bought at about $30+ higher. But you look at the average launch price. Jetscape was at 1,007 and Affinity is 1,575. So end of the day, I just want to tell you one thing. The launch price of the average project will not fall under a certain price because there's some criteria that they need to fulfill for the bank to disperse the loan to the developers. But to sell higher is totally up to them. So if I'm a seller, I know I bought my land cheap. I know I sell Jetscape at Bishan at 1.5 is too cheap. Will I sell at 1.5? I wouldn't. So what I'm trying to tell you, if let's say Dover, certain people strategize the price, they are also worried that I want to launch at 3,000. Is it confirmed can? Will they potentially do an average of 2.8? Totally likely, ma. In that sense, if you buy Hudson at 2.6 or 2.7, then it's a problem.
Previously, I met someone who was working in the developer side doing pricing. What I understand is also that they do their competitive market analysis. So if you think about it, actually nearby Jadescape, right, you technically don't have competitor. So if developer were to launch it high, right, to be frank, the buyers also no choice. They have to accept this price if you want to enter into this area. But surrounding Affinity, what do we have? We have a lot of other competing projects like Riverfront, like Florence Residence.
The demand is not high, the supply is very high. But comparing to Jadescape, the demand is extremely high, but there's no supply.
Ultimately, it boils down to how developers do their comparative analysis. So what we want to say over here is that low land price does not equal to cheaper entry price. Even if they launch cheaper, can I say there's also a chance that you might be the one buying one of the highest PSF in the area?
The key is you just put it yourself as a seller into developer shoes. If you go and see Property Guru, you want to lease your house, you see there's only you. You search whole week, only you.
Put
will
high.
You sell cheap or low?
Super high,
Then you
above
see there's
valuation.
50 listing. Will you sell cheap or low? You will definitely
If you're
be
selling
thinking,
something in North Shore, Punggol, then maybe you have to price it competitively.
unless you are the sea view, unless you got the sea view.
But of course, one of the benefit for an area like that, right, is that if the whole area is monopolized by the same developer, that's where we know developer will surely protect your price. So now we want to look into another area whereby a certain developer also monopolizes this area. And where is it? We have the Langtor area.
Which is Guaco and Hong Leong. Most of the land are by them.
Those yellow highlights are all by Guaco. Those green highlights are by other developer. So you can see, because they monopolize this entire area, right? The first plot, right, is what? Langtor Modern. So they bidded this land at 1,205. And the last plot, which is just bidded, is how much? 1,278. After Langtor Modern, right, we have other like Soy Build lah, like Langtor Gardens is by Kingsford. They all bidded lower. Because Guaco land have got such big share over here. That's why when they bidded the last plot of land, they can easily bid this way. You didn't price it lower.
So just to clarify a bit, not all Guaco is a combination of Guaco, Hong Leong and TID,
correct.
which is all under the same tree. But the key thing is that when they do it this way, they actually bid higher. Eventually, they will sell higher. One of the key difference, I just want to be very straightforward and upfront with you. Guaco is definitely a developer that's very good in price management. They can sell you high, but yet you will feel cheap, because they are very good in building very nice development and very good in marketing. So in that sense, most of their project, even though they bought the land a bit higher, and price they sell averagely is still higher, but they still can sell most of the units. So that's the wonderful thing about that. They help you do the price protection. Now we come back to Hudson area. So Xinjiang is also trying to do the same thing in this area.
One-off.
When they bid 1.5 plus, is it good for you? Yes, it is, because they are already helping you set a protection in terms of the price, which means that Dover, that plot of land, even though it's better location, it will not be cheap. Confirm the units. But you still need to understand the point that doesn't mean that they bid $500 higher. They will be selling $500 higher. This is a fact that you have to know. When you want to buy Hudson, put all these things into your mind. If I am going to Hudson and I'm touching 2.7 per square foot, I might want to wait for Dover. But if I'm able to get a Hudson at 2.4, 2.3, then I think there's a good price that I can go in. So all these things is down to price, especially if you are buying for investment.
Before we go
if you
into
want
the
to ask
project
more
info,
questions.
such as site plan, please take some time to scan the QR code to reach out to us via WhatsApp directly, or you can subscribe to our individual channels. Now on to the site plan. So for the site plan, as you can see, it's just 2 blocks over here. But I think what I want to show is the next one, where there is a superimposed version. We have got the Hudson next to Bloomsbury. So from here, you can very clearly see, right, in terms of view, what are you going to get? I mean, I just wanted to put this down for everyone, because in the area, all these lands surrounding the area, be it whether it's commercial or is it residential, there is a lot of upcoming. Even right now, where Hudson is overlooking maybe Bloomsbury facilities, or when you go high floor, you're able to get an unblocked view. It really depends on when you're going to sell. If let's say you're going to hold it for another 10, 20 years, there's a very high potential that you might get blocked. So these are the various views First one is this view overlooking the black and white houses in the landed enclave. There are certain stacks where you have this view. This entire area is subject to detailed planning. If you're buying just for the view, you might want to take note of your exit timing. Now this is the one that is facing the other side, which is the Greater Southern Waterfront side. And then we have got this part which is facing the Infinite Studio. Is a building lah. Last but not least, this is the one that is facing the Queenstown area. As you can see from the unit mix here, right, for the 2-bedroom itself is 50%, which is frankly very similar to Bloomsbury. Go on to the must-have segment of every project analysis series, which is the sweet spot pricing in Hudson Place. Same thing, sweet spot, 2 steps. First step is identify the USP. So what's the USP here?
The USP number one is actually in this whole area, especially in this area that is to the One North area where there is a lot of white collars, there's a lot of people that is coming here, a lot of tenants. The renters here are usually on the higher side comparing to the rest of Singapore. Sometimes the One North area, the rental yield might be even higher than CBD area. I mean, over the years, I think the rental yield might be slightly affected because there's new condos coming. But over the years, why the rental yield is so high? Because there's huge supply of tenants, but there isn't much of a condo that is going to fulfill all these things. But CBD, we have big workforce, but we have also big supply of condos. So that's the thing. But CBD still hold a very high rental yield. But one of the highest in Singapore is actually in this Hudson Place area. When the USP is actually rental yield, means what? Means that my target audience will mainly very possibly be investors. Then the second step, we identify the developer strategy. Later we'll go through, which is why you can see from One North Eden, it's very rare to see this. If you go into any project that is of a mass market, now you usually see the 3 and 4 is equivalent per square foot to the 2 and 1 or slightly higher. Not just new, even in resale. But here in One North Eden, the transaction of a 2-bedroom is at 2,477 highest. The transaction of a 4-bedroom is at 2,184 per square foot. You can see that it's almost close to a $300 gap. So you can identify one thing. Many people who's coming to buy here, still a huge amount of them which is investors. Okay?
Which are smaller quantum also.
They want to buy small quantum, they want to rent out. This is the main objective that they're getting. You seldom see 1-bedroom transact higher per square foot in so long, right?
In resale market, usually will be on par.
Very difficult to sell.
Yes.
So you can see Bloomsbury's residence developer strategy. I think we can most likely follow this and port it over to Hudson because I think there's a very good chance.
And they will be the same developer, right? That's
Correct.
how they're going to launch.
Correct. So you can see here, the lowest to highest per square. You can see the lowest range are mainly what? 2-bedroom, 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 2-bedroom. The rest is 3-bedroom. The lowest range are mainly 2-bedroom. But the big range, there is also 2-bedroom, 2 plus study. Definitely have, because there's some different stacks that they price it and place it. Surprisingly, you can see the 4-bedroom is at here. 2707 is 4-bedroom. 2-bedroom is done at 2345. I'm not saying that all 2-bedroom are cheap here because 2-bedroom also got 27, but mainly the cheapest per square foot is on the 2-bedroom. The 4-bedroom fall on the higher side of the per square foot in the whole Bloomsbury strategy. So you see here very clearly, the difference is, let's say the 2 and the 4, averagely the difference is maybe $150 to $200. 2-bedroom cheaper by $150 to $200. But in this case, in this particular case, in particular unit that I'm buying, this $350 lower. Then I'm able to sell $200 higher. Can I say the sweet spot for this development is the very cheap 2-bedroom, which means that I want to go for 2-bedroom that is not the unblocked view, but not the very lousy view, decent view, but the keyword is cheap, so my yield will be high. So this is the sweet spot of Hudson in terms of the development itself. Not saying the 4 cannot buy, the 3 cannot buy, but what I'm trying to tell you here is, if you are an investor and your mind is only on how much money I can make based on your budget, if your budget suits the 2-bedroom here, this might be one of the best sweet spot that you can find.
The sweet spot is if you can get the 2-bedroom PSF at maybe below or equivalent to the 4-bedroom is actually very good entry price really. Now onto the layout. For this project, right, for the 2-bedroom, there is no 2-bed 1 bath, so you're going to jump right straight to the 2-bedroom. So as what Alex mentioned earlier, I think a huge bulk of them are actually investors. Typically, for all the selection of all the unit types over here, we will go for the smallest, unless there is a specific not very nice facing. So this is the 2-bedroom premium 646 square feet. As you can see over here, the differences is not a lot. It's all these like very minor things, the exterior of the unit where there is a very long wall protruding. Interior wise, right, there is really not much difference, maybe foyer, but all dumbbell layout, all the same size, 646 and different facing.
I think all is quite okay.
Yes, all is okay, but like what Alex said earlier, right?
Buy the cheapest.
Buy the cheapest but not bad facing. Our top shortlist unit is actually the 2-bedroom premium, the smaller 2-bedroom that are pool facing. Because when you face external, it's either you get blocked by a building or like you have to pay a premium for those unblocked ones. Later the conclusion, you can see that it's actually the low floor units of the 2-bedroom premium.
Yeah.
Then over here we have got also the 2-bedroom premium plus study. Here is a proper study, and the other part over here is actually a carved out study room.
The B2 stack one can ignore lah, because that one you rather buy a 2-bedroom lah.
Yep.
But if you want a 2 plus study, then the stack
If
10,
the price
13 and
difference is
14
not a lot,
again is okay.
and that's why our top choice again is the smaller 2-bedroom and those with the pool facing ideally.
Yep.
Now onto the 3-bedroom. So for the 3-bedroom, this is the smallest 3-bedroom. This is 893 square feet. For record, right, Bloomsbury's smallest 3-bedroom is actually only 904 square feet. When you compare them side by side, to be frank, not much difference. Whatever entry price you're going to get for this 893 square feet, right, you can sort of reference to the Bloomsbury. That will set your safe benchmark. So anyway, this is only one stack facing the Infinite Studio. Then we have the premium ones, 1012 square feet and also 1023 square feet. The difference is really the foyer. Lastly, 3-bedroom premium plus study, 1055. This one you got the same 3-bedroom premium as earlier, the layout, but you have got additional study area. Da-da-da. If let's say I'm targeting investors, right, I would also prioritize the smallest 3-bedroom. And if you look at Bloomsbury's smallest 3-bedroom at 904 square feet, it's transacted between 2.13 to 2.33. So if you're getting anything in between, I think it's extremely, extremely safe. But of course, if you want to go for the yield, you want to buy as cheap as possible, right?
It's a slight advantage that you have comparing
But
to
the
this
layouts,
one.
honestly, right, because it's by the same developer, it's very similar. Last, on to the 4-bedroom. So for the 4-bedroom, right, there's also one thing I think a lot of people, a lot of agents, or maybe a lot of buyers will be concerned, which is that Bloomsbury, in the current inventory, there is still quite a bit of 4-bedroom, the bigger 4-bedroom for sale. So does that mean that Hudson's 4-bedroom is a bit risky to enter?
A lot of people ask this lah.
Yes, but before
Later
we
we'll
go,
tell you more lah. You ask us personally, you text us, the answer will be out lah. Sometimes watching the video, yes, I think it's going to help you, but of course, you want a very direct answer, just text us.
but video very hard because we don't know your queue number,
we
etc.
also
So
don't know your question.
we don't even know how to assist
So
you.
your queue different, you also go differently. Your needs different, also go differently,
Yeah.
correct? The truth is, bigger unit gets sold faster nearer to TOP, correct?
Yes. Typically,
Happening,
right, for the 4-bedroom or 5-bedroom in the market, for new launch especially, we only see them moving faster nearing TOP. Like for example, another project. This one is Tembusu Grand. So you see Tembusu Grand is no TOP and last year, right? You can see that all the 5-bedrooms started to move in the last quarter of last year also. You probably cannot see the dates over here, but if you can screenshot and then you zoom in. The dates over here is all around the last quarter of 2025.
You can go and check transaction. You
Yes.
will be able to see very
True.
clearly.
Yeah.
All the transactions actually come
Yeah.
in at the later part. And all the later part are mainly the 5-bedroom.
Yeah.
Someone asked me recently, then why River Modern all the 4-bedroom sell out, almost sell out on the launch date? Very simple. River Modern have two advantages. First, the 4-bedroom all face the river. Second, the 4-bedroom all have very, very, very good layout, which is very rare in the market. When a buyer sees something that is, I can't get it anywhere else, will I buy immediately and wait? Potentially, yes, because this is something that I really want. Not say Tembusu Grand or whichever, the layout not good, but the layout is decent, normal, which I can get in other resale.
You also have a lot of other competing.
Yes.
Because River Modern is the only one that's got river facing, right?
Yes.
But Tembusu Grand, we have got Grand Diamond. There's
But
so many options.
not just that, also all the resale property that I can get, which have almost similar layout.
Yep.
So in that sense, I don't see an urgent need that I want to buy immediately. I can either buy the resale if I now need immediately, or I wait for closer to TOP, then I buy this. But you could see all the projects, you see like Tembusu, like even Grand Diamond,
The next one will be
all
Grand
the
Diamond.
4-5-bedroom also all move behind one.
Yep.
At first, I tell a lot of people Grand Diamond got 5-bedroom, nobody want to care about me. But in the end, now you check no more.
Because Grand Diamond is estimated to actually TOP either third quarter or fourth quarter of this year, all the big units, all of the units are moving.
Yep.
One of the project I can think of also is like Lake Gardens, because it's going to TOP end of this year. So all the big units are also starting to move.
Yes, correct. So Tembusu TOP early this year. That's why all the big units are moving end of last year. Okay, so the units are moving very fast.
So in summary, right, why big units get sold faster nearing TOP is because such unit type is usually used for own use. They didn't buy it for investment. So when it's own use, right, these people are the people that have big families. So for big families, in order to buy another maybe new launch, right, it's either I sell already, I go out and rent, and then I buy, or if let's say it's nearing TOP, I could just sell and then I can move in directly.
Right.
So in terms of timeline, because you got to remember also, if I don't sell and then I buy first, right, also need to incur ABSD. So all these are very strong push factor of why bigger units usually get so only nearing TOP.
Very, very important is for your situation. Should I buy a Hudson 4-bedroom or should I buy a Bloomsbury 4-bedroom? I think this is something that we will always be discussing. Bloomsbury still got so many balance one. Why should I buy Hudson, right? So that's why we want to emphasize this part very much. We always will want to tell you, no matter what we talk in the video, end of the day is still case-to-case basis in terms of your personal needs. So we put it this way. If today I'm buying for own stay, should I buy Hudson or should I buy Bloomsbury?
Bloomsbury faster.
Definitely I will go Bloomsbury because
TOP
Hudson,
faster.
I need to rent, I need to this, I need to that. But if I'm thinking to buy a 4-bedroom in this area for investment, should I buy Hudson or Bloomsbury?
Hudson, because progressive payment.
Because progressive payment, because I don't need to worry about renting out my 4-bedroom at a lower yield, because 4-bedroom yield will not be high.
Yep.
Damaging my house, after that I need to sell after someone's stay. So if I buy Bloomsbury, definitely I need to go through a period that's like that, maybe 2 years, correct? But if I buy Hudson, the difference is, by the time my SSD is up, is almost the time that it TOP and you can sell. And in this period, you don't incur much interest, you don't need to handle rental, all these things. In terms of buying what, that's why I say, it has to be depending on individual case and your individual needs and what is required for you. Most important, you need someone for yourself. Either you yourself know how to plan all these things, knowing all the pros and cons, and based on yourself, you know what is the best for you, or someone else to actually plan all this plan for you, which means that moving forward, what should you be doing in terms of your case? Should I buy this project or that project? Also have all these minor things that is going to affect you. Now, in terms of the 4-bedroom layout.
So 4-room layout, we have got the 1152 square feet. To be frank, I love that all the units here, I can hack most of the walls over here to actually configure the layout to my own needs. This layout, this size is also very, very similar to Bloomsbury's 4-bedroom premium plus study, which is slightly bigger, but the study is not the proper study area. It's just like a small corridor area. To be frank, not much differences, but the layout is really almost identical. Then the next one will be the 4-bedroom suite plus flexi. This is the one that Bloomsbury have quite a bit of inventory, 20 over units. Over here, we do expect this unit type to actually go a bit slower on the launch day too.
Yep.
This is 1,432 square feet. Okay.
Anything else?
And
if not,
then
as the
that
end
is
of the video, we will see you very soon in Lentor Garden. They wanted
June
to
is
put
holiday.
it in September, then now they bring forward.
It's 4th of July.
We should
I
be doing
remember.
our video very soon.
Who
in the
knows?
next
I
2
mean,
weeks.
hopefully Thompsonville will launch around the same time, which is unlikely, but
Correct.
we'll see.
So next round, our videos will not be including the floor plan analysis, so that we can do our video way earlier, because usually the floor plan is released very late, close to launch. Just like Tengah, they released 2 days before the preview, which we are be rushing, and in terms of the information and decision to you will delay the time. So we are going to change it. We are going to do only the analysis of the project based on the basic information. And if you need any information about the floor plan and which floor plan that you think is the best, you can just drop us a WhatsApp.
Yes.
But if we can, when the floor plan is out, we will shoot another video just for the floor plan.
Yep.
If not, we will see you all soon for Lentor Garden.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.